Guys, they're here with Fought for Basics. I'm just going to do a kind of quick impromptu video for you today, and I'm going to explain torque taping. So if you've never heard the term before, torque taping is stretching reinforced strapping tape and stretching foam in a way that they resist each other so they don't want to move. So this weapon obviously is broken, the box is sheared. So I'm well aware that this is broken, but we're going to use it as an example. So you can, on a normal sword even, especially on great weapons that have more foam past the core, you tend to get tip instability, and eventually you start having tip fold over. One thing that can help tremendously, from my experience, is torque taping the tip, because it's going to put it under tension so that it doesn't want to move either way. The foam may try to move, but the tape will already be stretched to its max capacity, and it doesn't want to. If it tries to move the other way, same deal. We have it in this tension in both directions without compressing the tip, and before we apply the stab tip. Well, after we apply the stab tip, I'm sorry. After we apply the stab tip. And we don't compress the foam at all, so it doesn't affect hit, it's just about stability. So let's get started. First thing you'll need is a sword that you want to fix. You can't really do this too well with bats in my experience. And you'll want a fiberglass reinforced strapping tape. I've got Scotch reinforced strength shipping tape, but the Scotch Extreme tape is really good for this, or the Duck brand reinforced strapping tape. This is just single strand. The fiberglass strands run in one direction. The Scotch Extreme tape runs in multiple directions and is a little bit higher quality. This will just stretch a little bit more, but it'll work fine. So you'll take a few strips that are going to be long enough to go from one end, from our box on one side to the box on the other side, plus a little bit of length, and tear them into 1-inch strips. Most tape's about 2 inches wide. Then, on one side, you're going to press, without putting pressure anywhere, the end of your tape onto your box. You're then going to put a thumb on that tape and pull tightly on the tape, and this is stretching the fiberglass strands in it. You're then going to gently, using your hand wrapped around the back, pull the foam towards you and apply the tape without going onto the blade. And then you're going to use your thumb to press the tape down. So our foam has been pulled this way. The tape has been pulled out, stretching it. The foam wants to pull back into alignment, but the tape doesn't want to stretch any farther. So then we just gently lay the tape over the next side. There's no pressure going over the top. If this had a stab tip, like marine foam, such as Dick's Stadium Seat, it would work exactly the same. Because we apply the tension on the side here, and then we wrap over gently, we're not compressing our tip at all. Now that you've pulled the weapon, or turned the weapon around, no tension on this side, we're going to start it on that side that's facing us. So we'll take another strip, and same deal, we're going to start at our box, just right here, and your tip should be somewhat to the other side. And you're going to pull it back towards you gently, pull on your tape tightly, apply to the side, and then gently fold over. And so, weapon's flipped. I've done 2 strips ripped, so this will give us 4 strands, and I just slowly move them so that they overlap. You don't want too much exposed foam where tape ends, because it can create sweet spots where the foam will tear, especially on soft foams like Bolera that don't have a very high shear rating. So, in this case, I'm back on my yellow side, yellow and blue, don't ask. So we're going to press, gently tug the foam towards us, tighten the tape, apply it, lay it across, flip the sword around. Another strip of tape, apply it, gently tug it towards us, tighten, apply, and up and over. And then at this point, you're going to want to take a look at your blade and see if you have applied more pressure one way than the other, and see if you're tilting a little, because you don't want that. You want your blade perfectly upright. In this case, we can see that we've tugged a little bit more to this direction. So all we're going to do is we're going to do a strip. Now, I'm not going to waste tape on this. Typically, I like to tape my entire flats, but I'm just going to tape the top 6 to 8 inches here, and go up and over with a solid piece. So I want my blade to go back that way a little. I'm going to apply gently here. I'm going to pull it back until I feel like it's in line, and I'm going to tighten that tape, and then gently lay it over the top. and then take a quick look, and our blade is back in line. So our broken box here was moving tons before we did this. At this point, it doesn't move nearly as much. Now, of course, it's still tugging a little bit more away from the sheared box there, but this tip stability, especially on weapons that aren't broken, and especially with greater weapons that have more foam past the tip, is going to increase the life of your weapons. If you've had a weapon fail for tip fold over and you have it still laying around, try this out on it first. See how it works for you. If you have a weapon that's just starting to get a little bit of tip fold over, this can give you a few more fights out of it. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, or if you have any questions or comments, please like and subscribe, comment below, and share it around. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.